Hey, so thank you to each of you. I'm looking in the camera and so appreciative, I'm appreciative and I appreciate each of you. I would love if you'd lean into the camera just a little bit and maybe just give each other a little smile. So sweet. Thank you. A little smile. Thanks for being here. Today's day one of 3 day challenge is going to be extraordinary, quick, powerful, and we're going to talk about how to differentiate ourselves and our brand. Okay, so a lot of this is new material, and some of it I've kind of revamped some of the numbers for us, but we're going to get in and get out today, as we always do in our C-Suite Network Women's Coaching Consulting Council. Carol, thank you. You are muted, dear.
Here, what I was going to do is take a great snapshot of us. So if you all would lean in and smile,
Look at this.
I will.
Look at this. Thank you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, we're each our wing women for each other, aren't we in life? I tell you, to have our sisterhood, to have people in our life, men, women, anyone, to have other humans be supportive of us is so important. And so thank you to each of you. This is really so great. Thank you, Carol, to you. So I'd love to share. I've been really leaning into this whole concept of being the category of one. And I hope you're here. So that's demonstrating to me that you're interested in this. And so I want to get the conversation going. I promise you, I'm going to share some specifics that you're going to take away from our time together that you will be able to use immediately today. Okay. So thank you. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. We are growing our council. We're going through a big growth spurt starting in September. We had a kind of a back to school theme with C-Suite Network. So we're going to be growing exponentially. Plus, we've got a huge initiative where we are working with several large groups of end user clients so that as a coach and consultant in our council, we're going to be actively focused on getting you booked, getting you new business, getting you seen in the right audiences, and being able to monetize your business. So that is the huge, big initiative here. So hence, being the category of one, coach consultant is truly, truly important. So I'd like to always just set the context very quickly. We're at an inflection point, and I do love Andy Grove's book, many years, gosh, it's decades old, Only the Paranoid Survive. I think we've all got to have a mindset of we don't quite know what's happening around the corner for sure, but we all know there's word about, hey, a recession. Some are saying recession in 6 months. Some are saying not. The jobs report. I mean, everything is all over the map. But one thing that we can be certain about is uncertainty. Okay. And the statistics. I just did another research on the next couple slides that I want to lean into is if you just have, and Carol Kemmer can help us with this, if we've just got the term coach in our LinkedIn description, we're going to be in a sea of other coaches. So just kind of from left to right, the top little boxes in January of this year, I did a LinkedIn search for the word coach. I got 4.480 million results. Okay. I did the word coach I did the search again August 1st of this year. I got 4.910 results. So we've got about 500,000-ish new people, 500,000 people in the universe that are now claiming the word coach. They're saying they're a coach. Great. There are 8 billion people on the planet. We need more coaches. Okay. So the same thing with the word consultant. Okay. 2.77 million in January 1st. We look at the box down on the left, the bottom consultant, 2.9. So adding about 2 million more consultants between January and August. Okay. So this is a growing industry and a marketplace. We wouldn't be growing if there wasn't a need. Okay. And you know this, that the market size for coaching, and this is from the ICF conference. I'm an ICF International Coach Federation member. I've been a member since 1998, a long time. And if you want access to the report on the state of coaching, according to the ICF, we have the 2023 report because it comes out, it's a latent report. It's from last year's reporting and numbered surveys. If you'd like access to that, I have a certain number, a select number of gift copies I can give out as a member. So, let me know, contact me, and I'll give you a copy of the report. But the bottom line is, in the report is the coaching, and let's just say the consulting industry as well. Let's bring them all together here. Not an exact science, ladies, but the US market for coaching, according to the ICF, is, you can see the arrow. It is definitely going up. The marketplace, the marketing size, the opportunity is, according to the ICF and a lot of other sources too. I could go on and on about the sources. And I'm going to do a full report as well very, very soon. You'll each get a copy of it. But 14.1 billion in the way of coaches revenue, income, all kinds of resources that are directed toward coaching services. Okay. The global market is, they separate it out in the ICF report, it's 5.34 billion. So whichever way you look at it, the industry is going up. And we all know the reasons for it. Outsourcing. Organizations, many of them have in-house coaches and in-house consulting teams, but there are, with the advantageous way of adding external coaches, consultants, contractors, the market is growing, which is really great news. Okay. And of course, more and more people like myself, I don't have just one coach, I have 3 coaches because I'm focused on different areas of my life and business. You each, if you're a growing coach, you've got your own coach or coaches. Okay. Coaching has become mainstream, which is really, really great. So becoming in the sea of a lot of different people who have claimed the title coach, most coaches are not ICF credentialed. Let's just say it. There are about 75,000 members of the International Coach Federation. The majority of coaches are not ICF credentialed. Well, that's one way to differentiate yourself. Okay. We'll talk about a variety of ways. It's not a requirement, but it's kind of a nice way to become a category of one. But to become a category of one, we want to stop competing. We want to become a sole source. We want to become the go-to expert and enjoy a competitive edge, along with earning more income, bringing our offers to a global market, demonstrating our thought leadership in books and in opportunities and contracts, right, Kathy Dirksen? Being able to set ourselves up as an international best-selling author, ultimately to have a competitive edge. So I want to, in the moment, turn the conversation over to each of you for your comments. We can't be in the sea of all of these millions and millions and millions of coaches. And so the term coach, a lot of people don't even really know what that means. It's akin sometimes to therapist. It's akin to so many different titles. And what we go for in our council is a blue ocean strategy, the famous bestseller that I highly recommend all of you read, listen to on audio, whatever you'd like. Great, great, great resource on how to become a category of one in a sea of a red ocean. Okay. And so I think personally for myself, and I want to come on over to you in a moment, is, and we go fast in our council because we got a lot to cover always. Okay. And then we're getting back to work to apply it, of course. But I love the concept of ikigai. You all know this. It's this intersection between what are we passionate about? What do we love doing? What's our mission? What the world needs from us, our vocation, our profession, what we can get paid for, what we're good at, just this whole intersection. And in the middle, it's a beautiful Japanese term that is all about when all of these come together, it's magic. that happens. It's what we're supposed to be doing. Hence the category of one, because each of you, there's some things about you, who you are, what you do, what people experience about you. Everybody is unique. Okay. And so we're not reflecting that when we use just the word coach. Okay. Now, as we were talking before, and we'll get into some specialties on day 2 here, but our first session is let's talk about the unique positioning that you have. What are the strengths and how do you differentiate your strengths and get them into the market so that you become the category of one? Okay. Day 2, which is tomorrow, again, very quick in and out session. How do we uncover what the market needs? Where is the sweet spot for us? Not to change who we are and what we do, but we can model in it something that's really unique for us. A niche, yes, but something that really serves and where we can really get paid and compensated and deliver value. Okay. And then the third day, we're going to really focus in on our third session. That'll be on Friday. There's strategies to maximize our income and our revenue. So we'll be focused on money on Friday. Okay. So day 1, I'm going to come on over to you. Our session today is how to leverage your unique strengths and differentiate your brand. Okay. Many of you are branding experts. I'm not going to get into the branding because you will have your own session to talk about that. But I want to talk about our strengths as a coach consultant. I use the 2 terms together just for ease. We know coaching is different than consulting, but for today's program, it's all together. Okay. So I'd love for each of you to just take a moment and think about, maybe write it down, put it on your tablet, put it in your laptop, your computer, whatever. What do clients consistently praise you for? Okay. So this is a way you'll be able to leave today anchoring into yourself. What are the things that make you unique, your unique positioning? No one else in the world does just like you do. Okay. So take a moment, if you will, and let's take this from theory into practical application. What are the things that your clients tell you and they consistently praise you for? Maybe you're an extraordinary listener. Perhaps you have this gift of being able to synthesize data. Yes, you're extraordinarily caring and giving. You're so skilled. Maybe you're analytical. You have this way of seeing the big picture and making it simple. So let's jump in our very short time together, and I want to get your voices in the room. What do clients consistently praise you for? And if there's any call to action here today, it even could be right now in this one call to action during our challenge is going out and asking your clients. How is it that I best serve you? What do you like? Start, stop, continue is a great model, but I'm Kathleen Caldwell in her challenge issued a challenge to us today to go out and ask our clients, what is it that you appreciate about me? Or what is it that you do, or who I am and what I do that you really appreciate and that you value? That could be challenge number 1. Okay, good. So let me jump over to you. This is an opportunity for us to shine our beautiful light on you and love you up a little bit. What is it that your clients consistently praise you for? Thank you, Carol. Jump in. Thank you.
Listening and understanding who they are, being able to translate that into language that other people can understand just from reading it, and knowing how to maximize their chance of being found on LinkedIn.
Ooh, gosh. Gorgeous, gorgeous. We'd all agree, knowing Carol, right? Exactly, exactly. And I love what you said, Carol, about you also then brought in about them, what it means to them. This is so fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah,
how they benefit as a result of this. So
absolutely.
yeah, yeah, excellent. Thank you. We
Sure
know that's
thing.
a hard act to follow, but Kathy Dirksen, we know you can do it.
Yeah, I'd say one of the main things people say is they thank me for supporting them into stepping into things they didn't think they could do or wouldn't be opportunities for them. So, as most of you know, creating anthologies, multi-author books is my main thing. And for so many of these women, they always wanted to be an author, but thought it was out of their reach. So, to make it simple and easy and just doable has really changed a lot of lives.
Yeah, how fantastic. And completely agree with you. And I think, we've done this exercise in other groups. Our Women's Success Accelerator year-long program is we then go 7 levels deep to really get to the heart of why it really matters. So, ultimately, what I'm hearing you both say is, hey, so that they really experience being cared for, unconditionally loved, seen as the brilliant person whom they are. Yeah, they're special. You get to make people special. Really nice. Thank you, Kathy Dirksen. Yay. Good. Who's up next? What is it? What do your clients consistently praise you for? Yes, Terry, thank you.
I'll jump in. Well, I've been working on this a lot this summer. And so my top 3 things, and also thank you to those of you in the room who have been supporting me in this, really appreciated. And the top 3 things I would say are, first of all, clarity,
Yeah.
helping people see things more clearly. They say I bring them a perspective that they didn't have. The others being the calm and the chaos, that when
Mm.
things are nuts, they call me up and say, how do we
Mm.
see through this? How do we get through this? How do we cut through the lightly BS? And do that. And then the third thing is, what's the next actionable step or steps? And consistently, my CEOs say, we have this great discussion and we talk about all these things. And then you end with, here are the next actionable steps forward. And they really appreciate that we cut from the greater discussion down to the details.
Oh, fantastic, Terry. Yes, yes. And can you all see that makes complete sense? That is who you are. And can you see that all of the things you're sharing go so beyond the title coach, right? The
Right.
title consultant. So important. And Terry, what you do and how you do it is so different than Carol and what Carol does and how she does it.
Right.
And Kathy Dirksen, same way. And me, I mean, we have our own style, which will appeal to many and not appeal to some. And it's okay. With 8 billion people on the planet, we have a lot of people that we can impact, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And I will quickly say that by taking myself out of some of those overused categories, I'm getting a really positive response as I've started rolling out my new branding and wording around it. It cuts through, as you were saying, Kathleen, it just cuts through the noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. And Terry, it doesn't it too, as we continue to move forward. I didn't preface this, but I really believe this takes a lot of courage to do this process and to have the self reflection to just not go with the normal title, to really be able to be the category of one, to stand in the light, and also, you know, uh, prepare ourselves to perhaps take some arrows, for what we're doing, but to be courageous enough to do it.
Oh yeah.
There's comfort in the sea, of others, right?
To stand up and say, I am this, when nobody else is saying that, for me at least, it a little terrifying. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yet, I can tell you, every time I talk about it, the feedback I get is that they see me, they see my shoulders drop, they hear my voice drop, they hear me, that it's so authentic to who I am that it just kind of makes sense. So that's been really
great.
helpful.
Congratulations. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And how thrilling, because I think this is such a metaphor, this whole topic. And I'm so excited to be writing a book about this and really delving into this because it's a point, I think it's a point of empowerment for all of us. And I think it's just so exciting. And the time for this is now, is now. And some say, no matter our political affiliation and no matter our electoral leanings, whatever it is in the United States of America and in the world, it is exciting about having, again, not gender. I don't want to focus on that type of thing, but women, we are feeling the tidal, we're feeling the tidal wave and the wave of our power. And it's just so exciting to see more of us in boardrooms, to see more of us represented, to see more of us truly stepping into our power and our voice. I find that very exciting. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Great, great, great. Thank you, Terry, leaning into you. Copy, you we want to hear from you. And of course, you too, Susan, what do your clients consistently praise you for?
Well, I'm new to the group, Kathleen, and I know Jeffrey from NSA. So Annie lives in a neighboring state. So I thought, anything Jeffrey does is phenomenal. And then that I saw he had a women's coaching and you were leading it. I said, well, I got to jump in here.
Well,
So
welcome home, dear. Welcome
What's
home.
that? Thank you.
Welcome home.
Yeah. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time if any of you have delicate sensibilities. I'm not that. I did ask several.
That's your strength, dear. Come on, bring it.
I asked several of my clients what my strength was, and I just had to laugh because every single one of them said they just kind of gave me this look like, and I go, what? And they go, you're the shit.
I love it.
I said, what does that mean? And what they told me is that when I do training with their people come out and they immediately use it. It's not something that's airy-fairy. They can immediately apply it. Second of all, they say that I see things that they don't because I bring examples in from different industries and apply it to their industry. I'm hard hitting. I'm not soft spoken and I don't pull punches. And in the last 19 years, I've been in the automotive industry, and you have to do that in that industry. A lot of them say that I take them from me to we. I can't hear you, Kathleen.
No, outstanding. That's fantastic. Oh, wow. Yes.
And I'll just share this with all you gals. When I meet with a client for the first time, I tell them there are 3 things you need to know about me. Number 1 is that I'll always have your best interest in mind. Number 2, we have to have fun or I can't work with you. And number 3, there will come a time in our business relationship where I will have to tell you that your baby is ugly. So, and I've had several instances. I had one instance where I walked in and I was just madder than a wet hen because he was letting one of his employees rob him of thousands and thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars. And when I got off my soapbox, he looked at me, he goes, is this the ugly baby discussion? So, yeah. So that's what they tell me I bring to them. Now, how I encapsulate that's what I need help with.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Good. You're great. You're in the right place. So to help us understand how we can refer to you, what is your best first name?
Copy, like Xerox.
Copy. Beautiful. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. and not a copy of anyone else. You are the best copy of yourself, right?
I'm the original.
There you go, the original. Fabulous. Great. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Super. Thank you for sharing all that. That's great. And I'm also getting a sense from you and from all of us is ownership of this category of one, owning it. So congratulations. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Susan, we I don't want to say we've saved the best for last, but I'll just say we've saved one of the very best of all of
Thank you.
us. Yeah.
Thank you. What I get consistently is I'm somebody they can count on. That
Mhm.
it is something that
Excellent.
I help them
Yes.
to bridge the difference in understanding between how they perceive something and how someone else looks at it from a different perspective. We can unpack those things that may be difficult to talk about, but necessary to talk about, and help them understand that hiding from it is not moving forward. It is dragging you backwards, that you frequently have to take on those difficult topics and dissolve those from being me against you to where do we stand around this and how do we bring both of our perspectives into play to create the solution. Yeah, and that they can be themselves, that they are not expected to be somebody else, that they truly can show up as themselves and know that I am comfortable with them in their raw state of being, you know. And so some will say I'm too kind, and others will go, watch out, I don't ever want to piss you off, because they know if they do, it will not be pretty.
Excellent. Yes, I think some call it the velvet covered sledgehammer, right?
Yeah, it ain't so velvet at that point.
Kathleen, can I jump in and
Please, Terry. Yes, thank you.
I want to praise Susan, because the thing I would add to that is you see what it takes to make something feasible, whether it's relationships or whether it's projects, but what it takes to make something not just cobbled together, but to really make it a roaring success. You bring that to the table, and I see you do that time and time again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Agreed, agreed. And bringing with you fabulous earrings too, which we always appreciate. Okay, great.
We'll have some fun.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So my hope is, my wish is that when we're done with our time, because we're going to move through the next little section quickly, but that you take a few moments in our challenge today to think about, okay, to really get down on paper, to go another level deep and another level deep from the things that you just reported on, on what your clients consistently praise you for. And to really go to another level of what that means for them, what it means for you. And this next question, a next curious question is, because this is all category of one, all of this is the category of one, which is leveraging your strengths and differentiating your brand, is what problems do you solve effortlessly that others struggle with? What problems do you solve or help your clients solve that others struggle with? We got a little dangling participle there with the with, but yeah, yes. So kind of shifting our brains to what are the problems that we solve that just are easy for us, but others struggle with? Yeah.
I'll go first on this one.
Please. I love it.
Because I think of my background in architecture and putting together complicated systems,
Excellent.
multiple different teams, both internally and externally. I really have the ability to see how various things need to either work sequentially, separately, or together, and not be confused by having all the information, but at least being able to look at the vast community that needs to come together and hear each other. And I think that kind of big overview becomes a uniqueness that few have. I've been inside the corporations working with the vendors from outside. I've been outside with the vendors, and I've been the independent consultant. So I can see it from those different perspectives and help them to understand that at different times they need different teams to make those things come together in a unique way.
Fabulous, fabulous. With your special sprinkling, your fairy dust sprinkling of belonging, people feel connected. Always the hostess, Susan, always the hostess.
Yes, I truly believe in conversations around the table.
There you go. At the seat, the seat of
Table
soul.
of soul. Yep.
There you
Table of
go.
soul.
Yes. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes. Yes. And, I will also say that one of the things I'm proud of with the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council is we can stop everything in the world and literally for a compact, concise period of time, you can take it to the bank that we are going to give you so much value, some things to think about, actions to take, but most importantly, feel like you are coming home because you are coming home into a beautiful, safe, wonderful environment. I've been for many years consciously creating the problem that I solved that effortlessly that others struggle with is being a coach for 20 some years, 26 years, going to the second ICF conference in Greenleaf, Florida. I went down and found my books from the two conferences, the early conferences early on. And we in our council, we have a special culture of unconditional regard for each other, supporting and nurturing. We are truly not competitors. Well, technically with our title we are, but we're not. So cultivating that kind of environment, I'm so proud of that. And that's what I'm claiming for myself. And then again, for each of you, why does it then matter, right? Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So Terry, Copy, Carol, what are your thoughts? What are the problems that you solve effortlessly that others struggle with?
I'll jump in.
Please. Mhm.
Because I'm able to bounce between the whole system and the nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty, and because I can see the strategy and the operational at the same time, what I consistently do is I help companies balance their what and their why with their how.
Excellent.
And that results in more easy, effortless, enjoyable, and profitable.
Excellent. Oh my gosh. Celebrating you, Terry. That is fabulous. That is fabulous. And it's so true, isn't it? Yes. And as our beloved sister Sheila Anderson always says, is when we're in the jar, we can't see the label. We can't see the outside label because we're in this jar. So if they're in the jar, our clients are in the jar, they can't see out, let alone, see the big picture. And so Terry, you certainly help them do that. Yeah, congratulations. That's great for sure. Yes. Copy,
I want to
Carol,
thank
what are
Terry
your
for giving
thoughts?
me some language.
Is this lovely? Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have been wrestling with that question, Kathleen, for a long time.
Yes.
Because anytime I would ask, what problems do I solve for you? They're like, you solve everything that we bring to you. And it's like, that doesn't help.
Right, right, right. Yeah, exactly. And
Um,
and so, a little takeaway technique, Carol has done this. I've done this exercise with Carol, is going again, and Susan too, of course, is going another level. Now, this takes, a relationship with the other person, obviously, and some committed time and a level of, intimacy, business intimacy and relationship. But then I'm curious, Copy, what they would answer, how they would answer uh, with, so tell me more about that, or why does that matter? And why does that matter? And they're going to give you an answer. And why does that matter? Now, in our council, we're not trying to coach each other up here type of thing. But I wonder if getting to the heart of the really like going 7 levels, it's so darn tedious, but so powerful.
just continue to ask questions.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't think I asked enough questions. I think you're right.
And how many of us could all ask deeper questions, right, of our clients, you know? Yeah, yeah. I don't
Well,
think the clients are used to that, right? That deep
and
level. Yeah.
no, and maybe copy, one of the things that you really do is help them put into words the things they can't put into words.
I do that, Terry.
Because when they say things like, you just do it, you're the shit, that usually means they really appreciate it, but they don't know how to describe it.
Well, I loved your strategy and operational because, you know, one of the things that I was thinking about as I was listening to you guys is, a lot of times you walk in, you know, if you know anything about the car business, it's fire, ready, aim. So strategy, they can't even spell strategy, right?
Right.
So a lot of the times I would walk in, okay, and it's like, okay, I get the operational side of it. I get it.
Yes. Yes.
So what are you doing in terms of the big picture? I know what you're doing tomorrow. What are you doing 5 years from now? How is this dealership going to survive 5 years from now? And who are you going to be? And what are you going to be about? And who are you to your customers? I like to say I help put steps on common sense. I mean,
and I think the ultimate person in people who would tell you if that's landing with them is them, right?
You mean I have to ask questions again?
I know. Gosh darn it. You know, category of one, yes, exactly. Developing the courage. So, you know, there's going to be a day one challenge here when we complete here in a moment. So yes, 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 yes. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, part of this challenge is we're opening up new opportunities and new insights and great sharing and best practices. So yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Carol, how about you? Bring us home, dear. What problems do you solve effortlessly that others struggle with? And my question to you is, do we have enough time here for all of the
Yes.
answers that you will have? Yeah. You do a lot of this.
I'll be succinct. One of the things that I do is bring to people the awareness of how their profile lands with the world.
Oh.
I was talking with a young woman today who had been referred to me, and she said, well, I want to use my profile to apply online for positions. And I said, how comfortable are you with your profile? Oh, I think it's pretty good, but I just wanted to know if there's anything I'm missing. Well, almost everything was missing. You know, she had no words. And so, you know, I said, okay, you've done a really good job with your banner image. And I love your picture, but let's get real. You don't have any words on your profile. And in a world where they're doing search engine stuff, you're not ranking. So it was like just a whole different night and day. It was like, oh, not as good as I thought.
Right, right, right. Hey, and to be able to use that velvet sledgehammer when we need to, but in a way that backs up you bring the goods and the receipts, you know, that's it. And
Right.
And she's coming to you and she's not doing a Google search or using ChatGPT or whatever. She's coming to you a live human being with data that's focused on her. So congratulations. Yeah.
So it was a good conversation. I was helpful, but you know, it's like, well, let's start in what ballpark we are. You know?
Right. And for each of you, you have your special expertise. You all do. We all do. We've got a special expertise. And Carol, you see things on LinkedIn and what's possible that are just not even in my awareness. I mean, I've got blinders on, and the same with you, Copy, and you, Terry, and you, Susan. I've got blinders on because I know what I know. Now I'm trying to look a little like this, but I'll never know. We'll never know all of your life experiences, all of the things that you know and the problems you solve. So I really recommend, as we complete here in just a moment, is really taking to heart these two important questions of what do clients consistently praise you for? And let's get deeper into why it matters. Why did they say that? Why is that important? What impact has that had on you in your life, in your business? and curious questions about, hey, if I hadn't done this or we hadn't done this work together, where do you think you'd be right now? Wow. Heavy. Okay. Heavy. The implication questions that are so powerful. Yes. And then question number 2 is, what problems do you solve effortlessly that others struggle with? Okay. Essentially that's the value question. Okay. So our challenge is not meant to be a deep dive today, or excuse me, it's meant to be a deep dive in one particular topic, but we're not going to go through the other 2 steps tomorrow, and Friday we will. And our time's a little different today. We're 2:00 Eastern, 1:00 Central. Normally we are always at 12 noon Central, 1 Eastern, but today's a little different. So, okay. So tomorrow will be at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay. All right. So very busy slide. I'm just going to quickly just go over this, that, knowing the kind of coach consultant that we are is so important. I did a search and I'm going to bring it in tomorrow, but if you take the word coach and then you add in, again, we're not adding words in LinkedIn. Carol would never approve. We don't want to do that. We don't want to add in words that are not authentic to who we are and the value that we bring in our credentials, of course. But if you just take the word coach and you add in, hey, I have a specialty in team coaching and group coaching, and I add in the word team coach and group coach, I go from millions upon millions upon millions down to about 300,000. Okay. So 300,000 on a global stage, not that many. Okay. And if we then would narrow it into, hey, my geography, because ladies, I love to do business within a 100-mile radius of where I live. I don't want to be on planes from Sunday to Friday. It's not my lifestyle. So building your category of one business around how you want to live your life is so key. And, I've shared with all of you so many times, I live in a little town with under 30,000 people. My county has 300,000 people, my entire county. So I'm not I live close to Chicago, but I don't want to be traveling all around the United States every day. I want to be working locally. Okay. And if I'm not an expert and I don't have my specific target market clients, it's hard to do that. Okay. So, there are generally 4 categories, types of coach consultants: a generalist, an industry specific kind of coach consultant. There's so many words here. I wouldn't expect you to do this, but I'm coming out with a special report that I will include in my special report. So you'll have all of this. Also, we're narrowing into the fact that if you have a certification, you have a specialty that helps you in your category of one. And if you are not certified in anything, okay, that's a choice, not a problem. But it's hard to focus. It's hard for people to focus on you unless you've got a specialization. So even the word team coach, even the word group coach, even the word manufacturing consultant, even the word automotive excellence, automotive profit accelerator coach. Holy geez, that's going to take you from here down to you copy right there. Okay. Okay. And then as we're completing, you can say all these words. We can say all these words. However, you've all pointed this out. What's the experience that we want to convey through the words that we're using? What's the experience that our clients have that only you can deliver? Okay. And of course, it's, our importance in our council is always it's person to person. It's person to person. It's one to one. It's one to many. It's the human part of this that is so important to us, because you can see on this pretty little graphic here, you bring acceptance and patience and gratitude and peaceful and caring. And then you help the other person with inspiration, motivation, education, taking action, being a better human being. Okay. And for some of you, you can see the 2 people on the side. For others, you can see the beautiful vase in the middle. Yes. And the vase is filled with lots of abundance of flowers and flora and fauna. Okay. So completing our time, part of this category 1 is we got to make the choice. You've been here, you've been interacting. Thank you. Thank you. Make the commitment to doing the field work. And the field work is just take another level of deepness and take a few minutes of time on what do your clients consistently praise you for. That's part of your category of 1. And of course, what problems do you solve effortlessly that others struggle with? And then even like another level of, and who else could I work with? Who are the other clients that need what I have and who I am? Okay. And of course, we're always moving from curious about this to committed. Okay. So thank you for being here today. Day 1 was about discover your unique positioning, how to leverage your strengths, your abilities to differentiate your brand. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about innovating your solutions. What are the unhidden things that you're not even aware of? What are the problems and opportunities that are out there so that you can insert yourself and become the category of 1? And get ready. Your phone is going to be ringing like you've never had it ring before. Your email is going to be, so we got to get our VAs and our team ready to go to answer those questions and be on the ready. Okay. So, and develop the business that you want to build. Okay. Come join us on our council. And, we're going to start in September. We've got a new member initiative. We're very excited about that, and more to come about that. We'll talk more about that on Friday, but always schedule a one-on-one with me. I love to talk about this with you one-on-one. Let's have a conversation. Okay. That's one of my skills, is seeing the big picture and moving it into what are the next action steps. All right. As we take our time from today, put it into a biggest takeaway. I'd love to hear, what is your biggest takeaway? And I apologize, I've been looking at the chat a little bit. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. What is your biggest takeaway from our time together? Yeah, thank you, Carol.
Yeah, I love that we start with our clients and ask them, what do you appreciate about me? And then that second question is just beautiful. What do we solve that others struggle to solve?
Fantastic. Wow. Very exciting. Boy, and isn't that an empowering place to stand, right? Takes us from the sea of people that are, they're trying to fight it out, bless them, but takes us into that category of 1. Love it. Thank you, Carol. Yes. Thank you. Excellent. Who else? Your biggest takeaway from our time together? Yeah. Thank you, Copy.
Like I said, Terry just giving me some verbiage, and all of you, just your input just helped me to kind of start to, I'm talking off the top of my head, and all of a sudden I said, hey, that would work.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You guys, that was
Thank you.
Inspired by you folks. So thank you for that.
Thank you. It's how we roll here. And, we encourage everybody to, make it your own, of course, and be inspired by each other. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, what's my version of this? Right. Yeah. Yeah. And our clients have got the wisdom, they'll tell us. Yeah. Copy, you're going to say more. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just have to run. I have an
Yes, thank
interview
you.
in 6 minutes. Thanks, you
Okay,
guys.
good. Thank you. Good. Susan,
Bye-bye.
how about you? Biggest takeaway?
For me, I've got a couple of people asking for an updated bio, and it's really helping me to put together that in relationship to maybe what I put together 6 months ago, and just kind of clean some things up, create some focus.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's good for that as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Great. Terry, how about you? Your biggest takeaway?
I'm with Carol. You had great questions today.
Thank you. Thank you. I love this.
Nice when you bring that depth to it. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So,
Kathleen, you always have great questions. Yeah.
It's one of the things I do. And my husband is my live-in editor. And he says, why must you ask so many questions? And he takes a half the questions in my writing. I'm like, I can't help it. It's just who I am. I love questions. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Live in the
Terry, yeah, Terry, I love seeing how you are reframing things. And
yes.
every time I hear you speak, you have dialed it in more, which makes me so happy for you with where you're going.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right. Well, ladies, we'll see you tomorrow, 2 Eastern, and we'll nut it down to be a little even more concise. But thank you for a beautiful first day of our challenge. Okay. Love you.
Take
We'll
care.
see you
Love
tomorrow.
you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.